So I'm reviewing Turnitin plagiarism software checker, and I've used this both as a student and as well as a faculty member. The main problem it solves would simply be being one tool as a part of a larger ecosystem in promoting and sustaining academic integrity, and important also coaching students through growing as scholars. Again, I recommend, especially with a tool like this, really with any educational technology, that we really need to think about the entire ecosystem of student training and orientation, faculty training that comes alongside this tool as only one small part of what we're doing. If only used in isolation to kind of fix the problem of plagiarism, it can actually be fraught with a lot of problems. If I'm completely honest, a number of the experiences I've had with Turnitin have actually not been great. But my best experience with the product is when it was part of this larger support ecosystem, either for myself as a student or as a faculty member, where there was an extensive kind of holistic approach where both students and faculty were trained well, and the primary philosophy in place was to grow students in their scholarship rather than to catch them. The biggest limitation on a very practical level is that the integration with Canvas, which is what my institution uses, just does not work very well. It actually overrides the speed grader, which is something I really enjoy using to give feedback with my students and have kind of a conversation about how they're writing. And so the Canvas integration itself, I really do not like. Just does not work quite as advertised, and as well, the algorithm is pretty simplistic. It doesn't quite pick up on more complex forms of plagiarism. And my worry is that it's actually teaching students just to modify some of their sentences that get flagged to get a lower percentage or a higher percentage of authenticity. So it's kind of teaching them to plagiarize more effectively when we foreground that kind of quantitative measure produced by Turnitin's algorithm. If I had to describe Turnitin in one word, it's kind of hard, but I would go with limited, in the sense that used in isolation, I think it's actually kind of dangerous. When it's used in its proper place alongside a whole suite of other strategies and support structures for both faculty and students, I think it can work really well, especially kind of as either an escalation measure for faculty or for students to self-assess before they turn something in. I think that's where it works well. Again, kind of situated properly within a whole suite of other approaches. Yeah, I would say limited because of that concern. All right, so would I recommend Turnitin? Same caveat I've said, other responses here. It depends. As long as your institution is willing to buy in and create support structures, significant faculty training, not only in detecting and coaching students through academic integrity, but also through using the tool itself well. Not relying solely on those percentage of authenticity kind of measures. Also the student orientation elements, students training elements, even curricular commitments to growing student scholarship throughout the life of the program. All of those things need to be in place. Otherwise, I don't recommend using it on its own. I'm worried about kind of use in isolation or as a technological band-aid. There's much that could do in isolation to create a culture of distrust